So this evening, we have an opportunity to do a workshop with students here. Can you give me a real brief description of what that project's going to be?
Yeah, I'm going to show them how to do a very simple accordion binding that has, it's a soft cover, that has a removable spine. One of the things that's nice, you know, there's only a certain number of bindings and then you can get fancy with those different things. So there's sewing and Coptic and pamphlet stitch, and the accordion, I have found, I work with it a lot myself, but also for students, one of the things that really lends itself to is there doesn't have to be a lot of pre-planning, because you can work on single sheets and weave them together later, unlike something that you're sewing together where you're printing on fronts and backs. So you have to make a lot of decisions beforehand about what's going to happen. So, you know, you can cut these apart and reposition things. So it's a really kind of basic binding, and then it can be bare bones, and then you can elaborate so much on it. So I know for me, and you know, I'm an okay binder, it's not my main thing, I'm not like doing pop-ups or whatever, but knowing a few workhorse kind of structures, then once you know those, you can sit down and fold some paper and figure out, you know, how do I want to go with this particular project. But I do find the accordion, especially early on, works beautifully for, you know, in the planning stages, and not needing to print on the backs, things like that are really, really helpful. So what I want to show you, and some of you, you know, I mean, if it's review for you, I hope you won't mind. This is a very simple binding, and I made, where am I? Oh, there they are. We're going to make something called a pocket museum, and I already printed out your little title pages.
Cool.
Okay, and the plan, should I show the added treat yet, the stamp? No. Okay, so you're probably familiar with accordion or concertina binding, and this is one where, and I was just saying to Jim, maybe some of you heard me, he was taping this, but you know, an accordion, are you familiar with the accordion binding? So you know the benefits. What we're going to be doing is the removable spine, so you can, you know, view it like this and then take the spine out, or if you want to then be able to display it like this, right? So, and that's just nice, and some people could know you. Sometimes I've given things like this to people and they don't even bother to tell them they can take the spine out. And you're like, they're going to lose the spine. But in any case, so it's a very simple, no adhesive, well, there's going to be a little bit of, what's it called? Hinging, but no adhesive, no sewing, simple, simple, simple. And what I was saying that you probably know about accordions, those of you that do, so just, I'm always worried about repeating myself, so if you already know it, whatever, you'll help someone that doesn't know it. So the planning, right, you don't have to, you're not going to print on the backs of an accordion typically, unless you can read the book in the round. It's so wonderful. I teach book arts and printmaking at the State University of New York in upstate New York, and this works for me too, not just my students, but if you're working on a project that you don't really want to work out I mean, this isn't the only reason to use an accordion, but you can piece things together later. It kind of reminds me in a way like a quilt, you know, if you're working on individual squares, and then later you're like boom, 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 no, boom, boom, boom. You can do that with the accordion. Again, you can avoid printing on the backs, so when you're using certain kind of media where you have to worry about show through or what kind of paper you're going to use and so on. So what I'd like to do, I thought instead of just doing a model, I'd like to make this, we'll do like an exquisite course, we'll do some drawing together. That's why you have those cool pens in front of you. If you're not familiar, open them up and you'll see one side's a brush and one side's not a brush, pointy point. So, and then everyone should get, past this, you should take you get 3 pieces of white paper in front of you.
Does every student get pens?
You should have it. Oh, okay. This is going to have 5 signatures. And, you know, a signature is a folded page. And, you know, you can just imagine once you have this binding, you can sew things. You can do many variations on the theme. So in order to start with our raw material, So does everyone have 3 sheets of white paper? It's coming around. Do you think I got it right? Because we're going to be
Yes.
folding this way.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't get it right, it's just a model. But after all these years, you know, I'm kind of like, ugh, but if it's not right, it'll like crumple, as you know, when we fold it. This is just, by the way, French paper, you know, French company, Wisconsin.
Commercial?
Yeah.
No, Michigan.
Michigan?
Michigan.
Oh, Niles, I don't know, I'm not gonna be the New Yorker, that's the same difference. Sorry, I'm just kidding. So the plan is, so this idea is to make it this little pocket museum. And we'll do some drawings together, just fast, you know what an exquisite corpse is, adding on to each other's work. And I thought of the traditional, the classic, right, a portrait, a still life, and a landscape, you know, at a museum. And you saw where did I put my little title page? I think this is a picture. I'm trying to remember where I got this picture. Is it the Metropolitan?
No.
No. It's some
Boston?
important art building.
Is it Boston? Doesn't look like that.
Maybe a door prize for anybody that can.
Which
But I don't
museum?
remember. But it's supposed to look like an art museum, like a marble
Civic,
building.
right.
Yeah. So we're gonna, and you have those pens to draw with. So we're gonna do these quick, yeah. Hand those back over. Okay. So I'm gonna time it. I'll be the like person. So we're gonna start. Right, so you're working horizontally. Okay. So and that's very horizontal, and the other 2 are for the next one. So you're just starting with 1. I just gave you all 3 at once. And we're gonna do like maybe probably a minute drawing before you pass. And let's start with portrait. So yes, Tracy Hahn.
Do I feel like I put
Fill the
a portrait?
whole-
I'm not trying to split.
Right, it's gonna fold, the whole piece of paper is being used for portrait in this case. You know what I mean? You don't have to squeeze it over.
Yeah.
Although that's probably a psychological test. If it comes out and someone like only did their little portrait up here, you're like, but it's gonna get added on too. So you do as much as you can, and we're gonna then pass and continue on that person's portrait until we feel like, it's usually we pass like about 3 or 4 times. in session. So don't worry about, you know, you're starting something, someone else is gonna add, someone else is gonna finish. So the subject first is portrait, and did everyone have a chance to try out their pens? Or like, is it okay to draw on this stuff? You feel comfortable, you're gonna wing it, you're going, you feel good. Start with black, and maybe just the last one will be red. See what I'm saying?
You'll tell us.
I'll tell you. Okay, let's start with black.
Why don't you tell
It
us?
looked like everyone was naturally starting with black.
Is this a
I almost
full-length
went for red
portrait
in
or
myself.
just a
Up
headshot?
to you.
Full anxious.
Okay.
How many seconds are we gonna have?
I'm gonna give you a minute, and then we're gonna switch.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like the SATs or the ACTs, it's like pencils down. Okay, go ahead. Portrait. Time's ticking.
I know.
5 more seconds. Okay, stop. Let's pass again and still use black. And then we'll. Whoa. Wait, do I see a Donald Trump over there? What's hers? Okay, so stop. No, this is like a feline something.
This is amazing.
Can't wait to see them all.
So we're gonna get to do red.
So now you do red.
Wow.
And
eyelashes. That's just for days.
Isn't it nice having the red?
Yeah, it's really fun.
But by chance you happened to take that one different red.
I picked.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It wasn't chance.
Yours is all family, right?
It's a family portrait. I'm gonna go with the
So cool.
Oh my God, they're beautiful. Wow. Although
Sideways,
it's
gotta go
horizontal.
sideways.
Yeah.
She's doing like yoga or,
Doing a side bend. All right, so now just set that aside, and you're starting with a fresh one, and we're going back to. I was just thinking, so let's do the black again, black, 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 red. But then maybe on the last one, let's do red, 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 black,
Okay.
and maybe that could be the middle
Cool.
of the accordion. Okay, so I don't know. Do you care? Let's do black, 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 red now, and we'll do landscape because it's portrait, landscape, and still life is the other one. So landscape, yeah, black, 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 red. It's like duck, 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 goose. Okay, go ahead.
So we're doing landscape?
Landscape with black. Landscape and black. Seconds. Good, we have our landscapes. Let's look at those. Oh. Looks like a mango-esque. Oh.
These are
Good.
Oh my
That's
God.
like wild.
That was
Yeah. All right, so move that into your up ahead. And so now let's do red, 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 right? And then black. And we're doing a still life, whatever you consider that. I don't know, bowl of fruit, flowers, whatever the, classical, yeah. Okay. So starting with red, go ahead. Yeah.
It's like pass, pass, pass.
Just keep passing.
Oh, okay. Like
pass
musical
white.
Like
chairs.
musical passing.
Oh, I see.
Now I get to keep that.
Pass it twice?
Keep that one.
Oh, you just pass one more time. All right. Because we've been doing. All right, so now red again. And go ahead. I know. All right, so stop. That's okay. I know, I got confused. Tracy confused. That's fine. Okay, so one more time, and then we're gonna do black. And she cheated on me, but that's okay.
So now I should do black?
Do black.
Okay, sorry about that.
Or do red.
Well, except, or the one that has black would do red, but then that person didn't get you to use black. Just because Tracy screwed the whole thing up, it doesn't matter.
All right, thank you.
So I would say everyone do black, and go ahead. Stop. Okay. Now, okay, you have, so we're gonna, we've always done a thing, when I've done this before, we select, like you have no idea, you might know which ones you worked on, whatever, the whole point is, it's one big mishmash. So let's put, here's a good place, can we put all the landscapes forward? That little.
That's a still life there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is, which one? So, and we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Oh, wait.
11, 12, there should be
This is
12.
still life. I made it into a landscape.
Oh, which one, is it supposed to be a still
It's a still life.
Wait, but we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need one more landscape. Okay, there, we got it. Oh, that was fast, good, excellent. And now let's go this way. Ben, you're next, Esther. Oh, you knew.
tweet?
I need this monster child.
You kind of got, you worked on it,
Castle.
right? So now let's lay out your portraits. So that's gonna be for your book. Oh, look at this.
There's a row
Oh, look at that. Whoa. A rogue portrait? What do you mean, an extra one?
It had gotten thrown in.
Oh, and that's, so how many do we have?
We
Do
should have
an
12. 1, 2,
extra?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
What's rogue?
It was, when
The
I
portrait
proved it, it
was,
got-
Oh.
That one.
Or like acupuncture.
Acupuncture. The cat lady.
You're gonna fold these all down. You all use it to folding bone or bone folder, whatever. And remember, this is going, you need to fold this way. Everything else, you're folding in, and you line it up as best you can. I'm sure this is square-ish. And, you start in the middle and fold out. So go ahead and fold all 5 pieces down. So keep 4, you need 4 hinges. Yeah, you need 4. Sorry, I could have been clearer about that. Okay. You're at that point, everyone folded? So when you go to put these together, and Jim said he had a bunch of little weights. We're doing this as we're hinging. In the back, I've prepared some hinges. This is traditionally done, it can be with Japanese paper. This is an archival linen tape that actually used for framing, but when we peel this off, it'll be a little piece of linen, okay? You know that if you're working on an accordion book, and you think ahead, also, it can be, like these are spreads, but you can also fold paper, right? And then attach another group of folded paper, depending on how big you're working, right? This worked well for us to have 5 separate signatures. Imagine if you just butt like that, and butt, and butt, and butt, just join them together, it's gonna get askew, right? If this isn't a perfect square. In our case right now, doesn't matter, can't possibly get that askew because we're only 5 signatures. But what I have learned is in the future, if you are working on something longer or want to be more precise, I put down a straight edge, butt this to the straight edge. So again, it's like a steel ruler or something here. Butt that to the straight edge. So then the assumption is that that's a right angle with the straight edge. And then I would bring this guy over. I butt it to the straight edge and come. And if it's slightly askew, let it be askew here, not here. Because it corrects itself then. I mean, within reason, if you've cut your paper so much that it's like that, you're in trouble anyway. So that's what I've had to do on much longer things, and I learned that by not doing it and then being like, what the, slice, take it all back. The other thing that's nice about this is you can just cut through this hinge, particularly if it's a book that people aren't going to see the back. Now, if you are doing an accordion that's in the round, then then that's a decision to not use hinges, use the tab that I just said, or do a leporello, or incorporate your hinge into the design of what's on the back. I just put the weights, I joined it, put the weights there so you can work on your own. Sometimes when I'm doing really big things, I have someone holding one side and we're using whatever. Depending on how a tradition is to now fold this so you have the exact little, so it's gonna fall in the middle, depending on how much you care when that's seen in the back that it be straight. But if you go ahead and peel this, you'll see it's nice and see-through. But and just before you do it, though, let me just point something out. Line up your things
First.
Make sure they're not upside down. Have an arrow. It's a good idea in pencil. And remember that your title page goes on the right? Because when you pick it up, it's going to be over here. See how it's the reverse.
Where does the blank one go?
The blank one goes on the other end.
On the left, on the right, on the left.
Yes.
So you start with the blank one on the left.
Or you could start with the other one. You know what I mean? It just, as long as you...
I see what you're saying.
Trying to peel this baby.
Oh, this is a peel apart.
Yeah, I just prepared these. I mean, you can do, and what I like about using these, I will get that, is if you're using like paste, you have drying time. You know, you're kind of then waiting. You need to put it under weight so it'll be flat and not cockle. I'm just slipping this on. I cut them a hair shy. They're supposed to be a hair shy, you know, by a 1/16 of an inch. And then you're just, okay, so this is just for framing. So it's like Linico, you know, Lineco, whatever that's called, linen archival. The only downside of this is this tip stays a tiny bit sticky, could get dirty later. We had that with detours that Kathy and I worked on. So you're doing it for all of them, adding the rows there.
Yes.
I picked up dirt from the table because I have the wrong part of the hinge. I thought the backing paper was the hinge.
Do you need a different hinge?
It's already on
Too
there.
late. Too late, it's ruined.
Have you ever had anybody tell you?
Like, sweep the board.
What does the blank do?
The blank was for,
use it for
well,
the
it gets slipped
binding.
into the binding. Yeah, you need a blank. Here you go. So now I'm passing around another set. You take 2 oranges and 2 browns. Wait, 2 oranges and 2 browns. Okay, so those are going around, and I don't know why they're also. Now we're gonna make the covers, and then we'll make the spine. So you have these 2 pieces. People are at this point? Slip this in here. Or I even just go like this on top. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm sorry. And I need a folding bone again.
Equidistant inside the orange.
Just
line.
visually centering it. And who's got a folding bone I could borrow for a sec?
Yeah.
And I'm scoring this and folding it up. You're just getting the measurement for it. I take that out, fold that down. Now this is a folding bone. And then you're doing the same thing on the other side. So if I often put my ruler right down here, on here, so I'm going against my steel ruler. I'm just kind of winging, and it looks like you do have a ruler there. Lifting that up. Are you like, give me back my folding bone?
No, you're
Whose
fine.
is this? Okay, Zero.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now you have this, and then comes the flippy it in thing. So you are going like this.
So you had to cut this paper pretty exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I knew what size we were working. So see how you're slipping it in like that? So that, I left like an inch tab to go in. You could do more, I probably wouldn't do less because it might want to boing out. Sometimes people, if they're having trouble, that wasn't that hard to get that in there.
No.
But, and you want it to be snug. But you could also bevel that edge. And I did that here, you'll see in a moment.
Mine isn't quite the right size.
So once you have them made, you're taking your book, let me think about this. If you are having trouble, all right, because then what happens, do you see, you're gonna take your book and you're gonna slide that guy, what's your name again?
Grant.
Grant?
Grant?
So you're gonna, oh, by the way, you have to make a decision right now whether you want your front to be, your cover to be orange or your cover to be brown, okay?
Could we bevel Lynn's as a demo? She needs a little beveling.
She does?
Could we borrow the scissors? Yeah.
So you're sliding, I beveled this, you don't have to, you shouldn't have to. You're sliding that in. Can you wiggle it in?
Yes.
If you can't wiggle it in, sometimes that drives me a little nuts. And I did do this. That's not, which means take a scissor, or I would do with an X-Acto knife, on a self-healing mat. Do you have X-Acto knives handy? It looks like there's some right there in the middle. It might be, like, is it a pain in the butt? to
Yeah,
get it
no,
in?
no, no.
You're getting it in?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Here, why don't I take that and show people? And can I have a self-healing mat? That thing? Yeah. So, if you're having trouble getting it in, you don't want it so easy that it flops out, but it was making me nuts. I often don't trim it,
Trim me.
but you're like, trim me.
I can do it too.
No. So you see, like, so I would, let's have a ruler also. Or I can do it, actually, yeah. So I'm just going like this, Grant. Because you're going to make this again, Grant. Right? And then, just like over.
Mash it down with both of
So try that, and then I'll let you try your other side. Anyone want to trim? You're ready for your, careful of that point. So, you ready for the spine? Okay, the spine I figured out was a 1/2 inch. And how do you do that? So when you have this together, you have your text block together, and you don't want to like squeeze it tight to come up with that measurement, because then your book will like boing open. And if you go really loosey-goosey, I don't know. So I just gently held it down. Some people just put the weight of their hand a little bit and did that measurement. You can take a piece of paper, soft paper, and fold it and measure that. I came up with a 1/2 inch. And so what you're gonna do on your spine piece is it's really nice if you have those 1/2 inch, like I have those brass things. So if you're measuring, find the midway point. Now, it's not gonna be seen. So you could just like wing it, but really, you usually don't. So if this little brown piece of paper that I gave you for the spine measures some random amount, sorry, sort of like 3.5. So it's, 1/2 of 3.5 is, as you all know, 1 3/4, right? So I 1 3/4, put a dot, and then go 1/4 inch this way, 1/4 inch that way, and make those lines. So you see.
Center parallel.
Then you're going to score and fold, score and fold. So you'll wind up with this spine piece. You can visually center it. Again, nobody's seeing this. And some people bevel this as well to put it in. It's a cover. I made these little stickers. Admission, free to your museum. So there's a whole bunch of choices. Let me start. Okay. Here you go. So everyone gets one of those. Right? Because otherwise you're like, which is the cover?
Right, that's true.
The covers you're never going to take off. If you are showing off, you're going to remove the spine.
Sarah, are you finished with yours?
Yes, I just have to put my sticker on it.
Yeah.
It was hard to get that one.
Under that for the brown, if you could get inside.
There's nothing to get under on the outside.
Yeah, you're going to go under this brown. See that brown? It has to go under that brown. The brown.
Oh,
tan.
this guy here? Under that, okay,
Yes.
I see what you're
Thank
saying.
Just so
Okay.
it's,
You're welcome.
Are you finished, Kat?
No, but then I got a brown.
do you need a sticker?
Yes, I do.
Oh, no wonder.
Stickers are
Where's just the other side?
Give it a, yeah.
Yay.
I'm
To use the green
Ah.
side. I'm not scared.
Nice, I like that.
Three that were like, animals.
Yes. Do you know what I mean, Tracy? This looks like those the green glass.
This guy. Awesome, beautiful.
A little scary ending. Cool.
Superhero.
Slinky.